Hi, and welcome to this weekly video from the city of Decatur. Now, as it turns out, the much warned of snow didn't turn out to be that much, and it's sort of more it's more of a slush nuisance than really a big snow nuisance. Nevertheless, it's an opportunity to say that when we do get that bigger snow, and I suspect that we will see one in the winter months ahead, that you want to pay attention to the designated snow routes. Now, the map of those snow routes can be seen on the City of Decatur's website. The primary routes, or the snow routes, as we sometimes call them, means that if there's more than 2-inch accumulation, then you have to get your parked car off of those streets. It doesn't apply to tertiary streets, residential streets, but to those designated routes, you need to get them off because our snowplows, our public works team that works round the clock sometimes, depending on the severity of the storm, needs those cars off so that they can get the snow pushed back to the curb. Not a problem with the snow that we received today. I'd like to spend the rest of our time in this video today talking about some major projects coming up, either because the City Council provided funding for it in their fiscal year 2023 budget, or because the City of Decatur has been fortunate to receive some significant grant money. So yesterday, Governor Pritzker was in Decatur to announce yet another round of grants for the Decatur Transit facility. Now, last year, Senator Dick Durbin was in Decatur to talk about a $16.8 million federal grant to really redo significant portions of the transit campus. There's a series of buildings back behind our transit facility and our bus barn, commonly known as the Tommy Tire buildings, that the city bought from Tommy Tire. And those were buildings that were really kind of old and they need some rehabilitation. They've been kind of let go for a while, and they're right up against the CN tracks. And so as a result of these grant funds, which now total from the state and federal government more than $25 million, we're going to be rehabbing those buildings. We're going to be retrofitting them so that they can be used for charging, to do the support of hybrid and fully electric buses and other vehicles. We're going to be putting solar panels on them and making several other improvements, buying additional vehicles. The announcement from Governor Pritzker yesterday was nearly $6 million in additional funding through the Build Illinois 3 program that provides some of this funding. Now, the improvements that the city is making down at its transit facility here are really part of a larger plan to not only modernize our transit fleet and convert it to greener energy, but also to make sure that the city itself is better positioned to do the same thing. Last year, we also received a $250,000 grant from the Illinois Department of Transportation to draft an EV, electric vehicle plan. In other words, deciding where charging stations should be properly located, where the electric grid itself will have to be upgraded in order to provide the power to these places. How will that affect traffic patterns? Is the land there for it? And so forth. Now, we haven't executed the city-state agreement to start that planning yet, but we will be doing that later this year. And that's important because the federal government has allocated a significant amount of money to electric vehicle infrastructure, but generally speaking, they're going to be wanting cities to have a plan in place before they fund it. So this isn't just a plan for the purpose of creating another document. It is an essential first step in getting more state and federal money for the much more expensive cost of actually installing the charging stations and the infrastructure to support them. So hopefully we're keeping up with these changing trends. Another area where the mayor and city council have authorized some significant investment in infrastructure is at the library building. The library building downtown, formerly the Sears building, they built that building in downtown Decatur in about 1968. It's had some different uses through the years, but the city owns it now, and we lease about 3/4 of the space to the Decatur Public Library, and the other 1/4, the city has decided to make it a space where we have a concentration of workforce development organizations, a Think Well Maker space, a different approach to an incubator, Project Read, which helps people with math and English skills. Workforce Solutions is going to be moving into classrooms there. The Community Improvement, the Community Improvement Corporation of Decatur, which works as our small business development arm and provides assistance in housing as well, all concentrated in the same place. Because of that, and just because it's time for some serious maintenance. In the year ahead, in 2023, the City Council has authorized the replacement of the roof, and we're going to do that in conjunction with a project to put solar on top of the library roof. We're also going to be replacing the chiller and some other major pieces and frankly expensive pieces of the HVAC system at the library, and making some other improvements on the grounds of the library so that we keep up with the maintenance of this building. Sears did a good job of building a really solid building, but still we have to maintain it so that it can continue to be a fairly maintenance-free home for the Decatur Public Library and the other functions that the mayor and city council decide to put in that building. So in addition, the library itself will be replacing whole sections of their shelving and doing some library replacement, some carpet replacement, and making some other changes. So we're excited about these changes and the modernizations that'll come to the building, but as with any construction and remodeling project like that, it will also come with some degree of inconvenience and dislocation for a short period of time. Thanks for tuning in and giving me an opportunity to tell you about some of these projects. And I look forward to telling you about more projects in the weeks and months to come.